But we start by welcoming in Jurgen Klinsmann and Julien. Jules trying to suppress us. Oh, there it is. There's the smile that you know he's so desperate to express as PSG are through to the last four of the Champions League. What a game it was in Paris. Bayern Munich actually winning it by 1-0 Choupo-Moting's strike. The only goal of the game, 3-3 on aggregate. PSG then advancing the away goal rule. But you take a look at the stats and you look at that and it doesn't even tell half the tale, does it, Jules? This was an extraordinary match that really PSG should have wrapped up much earlier. From a neutral's point of view, it was tense, edge of the seat stuff. From a PSG fan, which of course you are, this must have been a nightmare.
I couldn't watch it. Don't ask me what happened in the last 15 minutes. I absolutely could not watch. I emptied the dishwasher. I put a wash on. I tidied my pajamas. Literally everything I could find in the house, I did, not to be able, because I just could not watch it. I just think, like you said, there was a point at the end of the first half, just when Choupo-Moting scored, that I thought all those chances missed. The bar from Neymar, the post from Neymar, Mbappe living his life offside tonight, literally living his life, spending his game offside tonight. I was like, this is not our night, and it will happen again. And once again, Bayern will score in the 92nd minute, and they're going to go through 2-0 on away goals, and this is going to be 2-0, sorry, and that's going to be enough for them. And I never thought that PSG could actually battle the way they did, show that team spirit, that unity to be able to go through the way they did. It was incredible.
So what we question, Craig, isn't it, over the years with PSG, that kind of team spirit, they're able to grind out result as they did today.
Yeah, well, I can tell Julien, when he was emptying the dishwasher and folding his pyjamas, the ball was going to Leroy Sané, and he wasn't doing a great deal with it, but we'll get to him later on. The only thing that surprised me in this game tonight, watching it, was the fact that PSG didn't win it. Didn't win the actual game.
Sure.
Yes, Bayern had a little bit more possession. Yeah, they got around the edge of the PSG box on quite a few occasions, particularly in the second half as they pushed. But I just felt that Paris Saint-Germain were an even bigger threat going forward than they were in Munich. And that sounds surprising because they scored 3 goals in Munich. But that was bad defending. That was, Sula coming out with his head down for a Neymar cross back in that Marquinhos scored. They looked a real threat at times tonight, and as Julien said, they missed chance after chance after chance. That's always going to put you under pressure. But ultimately, I think both teams had players out, key players. But I think for Bayern, those key players were more prevalent than PSG in the end. We can talk about Lewandowski's goals, of course, Serge Gnabry as well, his industry, his energy. Allied to Lewandowski, of course, was just too big a miss for them. Choupo-Moting got a goal in each game. You can't criticise that.
Sure.
But when you take that threat of Lewandowski out, when you take that industry of Gnabry out, and I mentioned Leroy Sané, final third, both games, just awful. Just absolutely awful in the final third. Whether he's coming in on his left foot for quite a simple strike from 16 yards, 14 yards, and he scuffs it, gets no purchase on it, and then there was many others, but right at the end he has the ball, takes it under control, deep into the penalty box, has no pressure whatsoever to pick a pass out across, scuffs it into Kylian Navas's hands. That sort of summed him up over the 180 minutes, but in the end it summed Bayern up. Lots of possession, particularly in the first game, just didn't do enough with it.
Jurgen, we'll talk about Bayern a little bit later on. Let's focus first, shall we, on PSG, criticised in the past for not having the character, not being able to get it done in big matches. This is a side now who've knocked out Barcelona and Bayern Munich.
Yeah, and you got to give them a huge compliment. I think over the stretch of both games, they did really well. I mean, they had more hunger. They were more determined, especially today, to grind it out. They had the clearer chances today. I think Neymar, should have had at least one goal there. So they were more clinical. Bayern was missing, as Greg said rightfully. They missed the last piece in it. In the final third to get more determined, to get more clearer chances, and to finish things off. I think Bayern over the stretch of the 2 games, probably they lost it in the first game. They didn't finish things up in the first match, and they got punished for it today. And obviously, you could clearly see that to sap Robert Lewandowski is just simply impossible. Even if Choupo-Moting scored in both games, but his presence, his charisma that he has on the field is just so valuable for Bayern Munich that they couldn't deal without him. So overall, I think PSG really deserves it to go through. It showed why the Champions League is really the best product of football in the world, because this level of a game that we saw today is just something that all national team coaches are watching these type of games and want to see what are the newest trends, what is the difference in these games, and they take kind of the information that they gain on those type of events like today into the European Championship or the Copa America and try to implement whatever they see in these type of games. So Champions League on that level is just something very, very special.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content plus live streaming, make sure to subscribe to ESPN Player.